Literacy is a national issue. There's 32% of American fourth graders are below reading proficiency. Students that don't have that basic fundamental, they are more likely, 4 times more likely, to drop out of school. And in Kansas, there's a disparity in socioeconomic and by race. So we're really working to make sure that that 83% of African American fourth graders that are in Kansas that are not meeting reading proficiency, and the 80% of Hispanic and Latino students that are not reading meeting their grade level reading, we want to make sure that they have that success. We thought, why not make this serious issue fun? And so we thought up the Kansas Children's Literacy Conference and Festival. The Read and Rise Breakfast Gala, this is our opportunity to recognize literacy advocates that are boots on the ground. They are working to ensure that our children have successful futures.
We're honored to have an award-winning actress as our keynote speaker.
Please give a warm round of applause for Miss Victoria Rao.
So I want to thank everyone in this room for being here, for getting up as early as you have, to participate in what I think is the noblest of jobs, which is to pass it forward, to teach us, to inspire us, and most importantly, to love us with words.
Student Day, we were so excited about Student Day. So we invited about 1,000 children from schools surrounding our festival grounds. So we hosted the festival on Opportunity Drive, which I just love that name. But there are 3 Title I schools that surround Opportunity Drive, and you have Gordon Parks, you have Mueller Elementary, you have Spate. And then on Opportunity Drive, there's Top Early Learning Center, and we invited the USD 259 students that participated in that program. And then we also invited Urban Preparatory Academy, and it's very close in proximity. And so these students came, and when they walked in the door, I was greeting them, and I said, welcome to Student Day. And they were like, Student Day? What's Student Day? I said, this is your day. I mean, Student Day, that means you. And so we wanted them to understand, first of all, that they're important, and they're special, and then we wanted to provide them with access to books to help them to build their own home libraries. And then we wanted to expose them to an author, a nationally known author, who not only is an author, but is an animator, and he's done great movies and things that they can relate to and get them excited about.
Wow, you guys are so pumped right now. This is great. Okay, I want to actually read Little Botan's Sparrow to you guys.
So Little Botan's Sparrow is my first children's book that I've written and drawn, illustrated several. It's the first one I've written, and it's a story about a robot who's thrown out, cast away, and he makes friends with the sparrow out in the woods, and she teaches him about life, how to live, what's good, what's bad, and it's a story of friendship. What's great about doing children's books is the audience. It's usually kids ages 3 to 5 to 7, 8, depending on the story. I love their enthusiasm. I love For them, like holding a tangible book, turning the pages, seeing the artwork up close like that, it's extremely satisfying, I think, for them. And it's for me to just see their reactions. I love it.
Yeah, if I don't have homework, I read, and I like to read, kind of. And if I don't have nothing to do, I read for 25 minutes. You could go in your room and you could ask one of your brothers or sisters to read with you.
I think the challenge today is finding interesting texts that students enjoy and that they can relate to their everyday lives.
We were working with all the different stakeholders, and so we wanted to give teachers some tips and tricks to put in their toolboxes, to take back to their classrooms. What better way than to bring in specialists and bring in facilitators that are skilled in literacy, like our facilitators from K-State.
The thing about reading is it literally is the foundation for everything. Understanding numbers, understanding different languages, understanding everything from learning games to being able to communicate and across your lifespan. The more vocabulary you have, the more nuanced you can be in your own thinking, as well as in what you do outside of your own mind. The most important thing parents can do is really think about their children as developing minds, as opposed to thinking about them as needing to be changed or needing to be fed. Those things happen, but really what they can do is think about them as really becoming adults. And so trying to help them think about what is going on inside their heads. It's a difficult thing if you think about trying to think about being a 4-year-old, but that's what we need to do. And then there are things like asking questions, modeling, so acting out what's going on in the book. Really the key is to make reading more fun and engaging for both the child, but especially for the parent. If the parent's having fun doing it, children will follow.
We had fundamental learning centers, Janine, Phillips.
Every aspect of your life, reading benefits you. The requirement for a brain to learn to read is it's so complex that the way language affects how you and I sit here and speak, that we know a lot of the vocabulary that we gather as we mature comes through the reading process, that actually so many studies have been done on children who have not had that kind of exposure or can't read. So we see them IQ-wise, fall way, way, way down, which shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen when we're doing, the intellectual quotients. It just shouldn't happen, but it does, because your vocabulary is so hampered. And what I always go back to is whatever motivates them, whatever gets them to pick up that book, to look at that print and say, I want to read that. It turns me on. I like that subject. That is where you have to start.
We hope that the teachers left, they too left feeling empowered, just like the students did that day. So that was just a really great beginning to the festival itself, the Saturday extravaganza. So we invited a lot of our friends that are working in literacy. We invited schools, we invited just some of our partners to dress up and share about their mission through posters and banners, and then we had this really big book that was the beginning of the festival parade. That it showed what we wanted to spread the message about, and that was, not only is reading fun, reading is big, reading is exciting, and we had the Woo walking in the parade with us. It was just a fun way to start out the Saturday events.
It's awesome. I didn't know that they did things like this, and it's really nice.
We had the main stage, the Storytime stage, featured a variety of acts and performers. So we had the Wichita Community Children's Choir. They kicked us off directly after the balloon launch, and they sang beautifully, and we were so excited to have them there.
Going to get along, don't see yourself smiling. Don't see yourself under the furniture. There isn't a lot to spare. Who cares? Whatever we got, we share.
If there's a chance to be, we should see some harder days. Empty lot of days, why grouse? Always a chance we'll meet somebody to foot the bill. Then the drinks are on the house.
And then I don't feel
Then we had the Wichita Community Children's Theater and Dance Troupe.
Got the ocean and the desert and the mountains and the sky. Say I am just a speck of dust inside a giant's eye. I am just a speck of dust inside a giant's eye. When I like giants, especially girl giants, 'cause all girls feel too big sometimes, regardless of their size.
We had the Wichita Public Library, the McConnell Air Force Base. They were all out there doing crafts, make it, take it. We had Connor Creations doing balloon twisting. And one of my favorites, we had the Wings of the Wind kite and toy store. And they were flying kites, and children were able to decorate a kite and fly a kite, or fly some of their kites that they had on display. And so it was just a beautiful sight seeing and it was just a beautiful day, and the weather was perfect for flying a kite and enjoying popcorn and cotton candy and the food trucks and all the other fun things that were on display at the festival.
Events like this kind of brings them out here and shows them that, it could be fun to pick up a book and read,
I think it really just kind of gives back to the community. Good way for kids to kind of get the investment of reading, and really for me get off all the electronic stuff, tablets, phones. So it's good for them to pick up a literal book. So I think that this promotes that very well.
I think I have 5 grandbabies and all of them like to read. So I'm not really a reader, but I read because they read.
I just like reading. There's books that make me feel like they're really good. They make me feel happy. Books, they make me feel happy inside. And so I just like, whenever I'm bored, I just pick up a book and start reading it.
So Hoops for Literacy. So this was not our first go at Hoops for Literacy. We hosted Hoops for Literacy for the first time in 2014. But this is the first time we had it as a part of the Kansas Children's Literacy Conference and Festival. And we asked a really great group of community leaders to lend us their name and their celebrity to the cause, because we know that they understand that reading empowers our youth, and so they were really glad to sign on to play in this charity basketball game. But we also asked 2 6'9" former NBA players to participate as the coaches. So we had Antoine Carr and we had Taj Gray.
Obviously, I'm from Wichita, and this is one of the ways I was able to make it out of the area I lived in, which is a pretty tough area. Some of us would consider it a ghetto. But I was able to get out of there by being able to read, by being able to do all of the things that we're trying to teach the kids now. And we're also making sure people understand that all of this takes a village. It still takes a village to make us as great as we're going to be.
I'm a father myself, so I know the importance of education and getting your daughter, getting your kids ready to, teach them how to read and get their knowledge up more. So, being a part of something like this is very important.
It was the culmination of the entire festival, and I think that was a great way to go out, celebrating literacy by bringing together community leaders that really have a passion for our children. It takes a village to raise a child. We can't put the onus on the school and the teachers alone. It takes the entire village. We have to help our families. We have to help our children to be successful. So why not grab everybody we can and let's be the village for our children. I feel like this is a responsibility of mine because of what I was given. When I was a kid, my mother, she was a teacher, and during the summertime she would take us to the public library. We would go to puppet shows at the library, and reading was not a boring thing. She would have story time with us at nighttime, bedtime stories, and we would ask for that. It was a fun thing. It was not something that we dreaded doing, and so we want to spread that message. And reading is fun. Reading is exciting. It can take you anywhere you want to go. You can not only learn, but you can use your imagination and be anything. And so reading is empowering, and we want to spread that message. I hope everyone's not sick of us yet, because we're coming back next year. and we're going to take the lessons learned from this year, and we're going to work to make an even better Kansas Children's Literacy Conference and Festival.
They see too much through all the connectivity of social media and iPads, tablets, phones, so this is good to just keep them connected to something beneficial, which is a book.
Oh gosh, there's so many kids that go years and years and get up in the 10th, 11th grade, they don't know how to read. So it's important to start them young. You start them early and teach them about reading, how important it is. That's where you're going to get your education. Because when you read, you learn. That's education. You just strive from that.
I say, you know, reading a book before bedtime or a couple books before bedtime is great. We try to do that quite often during the week. And they get makes bedtime easier. They get more excited to go to bed that way as well.
We have to find things that engage them and that they're interested in order for them to transfer what they see to text and relate it to what they do in their everyday lives.
I like superhero books. A book just came out. It's called Ghost. A new book just came out. And I like the Smile book and the Sister book. And I like the books where they have like the little comic books.
Knowledge is meaningful. It's a lot. So I'm glad they like to read.